Hello and welcome to another edition of 310 to Left, presented by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Tom Caron along with Alex Speier of the Boston Globe, and these are the times that try men's souls. Less than 4 weeks remaining in the season, and Roman Anthony is expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. By my math, that means he is out for the rest of the regular season. This is, I don't want to say devastating news, because they believe they have the depth to try to get through this, but it is not good news for the Red Sox.
Right. It's not necessarily devastating because they have other strengths that they can lean on. I think, in particular, having the wall of Crochet, Giolito, Bayo has been a strength that's given them kind of a rock that through these last 3 months. That said, Roman Anthony has been their most consistent lineup contributor basically since he got called up, and particularly since he got called up after in the post-Devers era. He was the guy who replaced the Devers production by being an incredible on-base presence, and when you had that at the top of the order, then you had great run-scoring opportunities left and right for the guys batting behind him, and so this is certainly destabilizing for the Red Sox. This is a very different look for a lineup that looks nothing like what we thought it was going to at this point on paper than, the opening day lineup versus now. There's been some changes.
Nick Sogard returns for the moment. We'll see how that all plays out. Wilyer Bray's still on the injured list, and that's
right.
Part of the problem, right? We thought maybe we'd be getting more encouraging news. There hasn't been a lot of encouraging news. He's not sprinting yet, so you're really without two right field options here for the time being.
Yeah, when I talked to him the other day, he said, well, my goal is to make sure that I'm back before the end of the season and in time for the playoffs. And I was like, that loose timetable does not suggest imminence of return. And he was saying there's not a specific timetable at that point. But you're right. The fact that he hasn't been able to progress kind of on, quote unquote, on schedule where they expected him to be able to start pushing is not promising. And look, his absence has been felt. Like the offense has struggled through inconsistency over the course of the last couple of weeks, really. I think that part of it is that, Alex Bregman has gone through maybe his toughest offensive stretch of the season in terms of not being able to just get that clean barrel life through the zone. He seems to be making some steps back towards that, but they were already thinner than they wanted to be in the outfield, and now, of course, with Abreu and Anthony out, that's a different look.
The password was not called back. Josens and Garcia not here. There's some talk. Maybe you look at Christian Campbell back at second base, Rafaela more full time. Those have not been the options. Could they factor into this, or do you think they will try to go with what they have?
I think they could factor into that, but I think that we also have to, there also has to be a realistic perspective that even though Christian Campbell has started to make better contact in AAA, there's still a lot more swing and miss than what was seen last year. There's less strike zone control than what they saw last year. There's less kind of ability to drive the ball in the air than they showed last year. So there's still things that are probably necessary to work out at the AAA level, which is part of the reason why you're not rushing him back into the lineup, why he, in a number of occasions since his demotion, they have bypassed him. And they certainly, though, they could factor into the mix. I think part of it is when you need right-handed bats, for instance, and that's part of what they're working on.
Looking ahead, there is if you try to figure out rotations against them, they could be seeing a fair amount of left-handed starters over the next few years. So this could be a big opportunity for Rob Refsnyder to play a lot of baseball. But that's all a discussion for another day. For now, it's still reacting to the Roman Anthony news placed on the injured list, and Roman Anthony himself still reacting to the news. Here's what he said when he met with the media after being placed on the IL.
Yeah, it sucks. I wish I could play. That's all I really care about. So it sucks.
What do they kind of give you for best case scenario or?
I really don't know. Everyone heals differently, so I'm gonna do everything I can every day to try and get back out there as fast as I can. But it's impossible to tell.
Well, what did they tell you about the injury itself? What actually happened?
It's a pretty good strain. So again, don't really know a timetable. Don't really know much other than that. Show up every day, do everything I can, and trust our training staff and trust the people around me, and do everything I can to get out there as soon as I can.
How hopeful are you that that's this season?
Very. like I said, I'm gonna do all I can every day to try and get back out there this season and help this team any way possible. But for now, I'm gonna do everything I can to just cheer the guys on and be a good teammate.
How do you feel today?
Not great. Not much different than I did yesterday. So, not feeling great.
Did they tell you like what grade it was, like what grade strain it was, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think they said it was a level 2. I could be wrong, but they said it was, kind of what they expected based on my reaction and how I initially handled it when I came in here. And it was pretty much what we kind of expected.
Did you ever have was the not feeling great this morning? Physical pain, or emotional pain, or a combination?
Combination, I think. Obviously I didn't know when I woke up because I had to get the MRI this morning, and was just trying to stay as positive as I can and hope for the best. But it's all sorts of pain when you hear that you can't play for a certain period of time, and for me that's what I live for. That's what I like, showing up here for every day, is to help this team and help the city and try to get into the playoffs and win a World Series. And when I'm not in the lineup, it's a bad day for me.
Thank you.
Roman, have you ever had an oblique issue in your career?
No, never. This is the first time.
You said confident that you'll be able to return this season, but would that be the regular season, or do you have a sense of that?
I have no idea. Unfortunately, I've never dealt with something like this. I don't know, the recovery time on something like this. Again, it's just a matter of trusting the training staff and trusting the coaching staff, and doing everything I can on my end to get healthy and hopefully return as soon as I possibly can. But I'm not gonna put a timeline on anything, and I don't want to set any realistic or unrealistic goals. I think for me it's just a matter of showing up every day and doing everything I can in the training room and everything I can, sleeping, diet, to make sure that I'm physically and mentally in my best shape, and just try to get out there as soon as I can.
Is there kind of a silver lining about, like, there is a chance that it's not just 160, this team has a chance to play beyond 160 games. There might be more seasons to get back to.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think everyone here is on the same page, and as a team, we believe that we're a World Series caliber team, and we certainly believe it in this clubhouse, and we're going to continue to believe it, regardless of who we have or don't have. And I'm going to continue to support these guys and do everything I can to be the best teammate I can, and hopefully get back and help this team win a World Series.
Roman, I know you said you've never had this injury before. Maybe you don't totally know this plan yet, but what kind of recovery is needed? Is this a shut it down for a while? Is this a immediately start kind of trying to work back?
Yeah, so as far as I know with the oblique, you have to give it a little bit of time at first, and then from there it's slowly kind of build it back up. Obviously for me and wanting to get out there and help this team as soon as I can, I'm going to do everything I can to speed this process up. But as far as I know, at least the first few days, maybe a week, is pretty much just laying low and kind of letting it heal as much as I can before we start moving it around. But I trust the training staff completely, and we've already been doing little things to try and help it and speed it up. So for me, again, I know I've said it, it's just a matter of trusting them in there, and they're so good at what they do, and so I'm going to continue to do everything I can on my end to show up here and hopefully be ready.
3:10 to left is presented by your New England Ford dealers, who've been taking everyone out to the ball game at Fenway Park for decades. Catch Ford next time you're at Fenway, including in the Ford Clubhouse, a full-service bar perfect for bringing your lineup together and for recording our live edition of 3:10 to left. It's all brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. All right, you were in there when he spoke to the media. You know, you try to listen to tone, look at body language. Like, what was your takeaway from that?
He's downtrodden. I mean, he's very direct. It sucks. Like that is the 2-word distillation that sometimes I try to discourage my 11-year-old from using that word quite as often as he does, but sometimes it captures a lot about what's going on. And it's painful for him to be in a moment where he's. This is the most exciting time of the baseball calendar, and all of a sudden it's ripped away from you with both, that hurts on a personal level. He's also someone who has a wonderful sense of team, right? He's always viewed his availability through the lens of what is, am I helping the team or not? And this is, he has an opportunity. The chance to impact the team positively has been taken away from him. So obviously that hurts. He said he's going to do the only thing he can do, which is try to crush the rehab, do everything in his power to be on the earliest end of the return timetable as he can be. And he's not affixing any kind of timetable to what he's doing. He's just, there is a silver lining in that maybe there are more games than 162. They give him more of an opportunity to come back and play again this year, but that's a pretty significant blow when you're talking about losing a month of exciting baseball.
The Red Sox reacting to it. You heard it from Alex Bregman really Tuesday night. That was when I said, oh boy, this doesn't sound good. When he was sort of laying it out there that we're going to have to get through this, we're going to have guys not try to do too much. He spoke again on Wednesday before the final game of the homestand. Here's what Alex Bregman said about where this team goes without Roman Anthony for the rest of the regular season.
Obviously, it's a gut punch to lose one of the best players in the world, but we got to keep focused on the next pitch, continue to battle, and hope he gets back sometime in the postseason or whenever that may be, or I don't know, maybe at the end of the year. I have no idea really the timetable or anything like that. My job is to come here, try and execute, and I feel like the rest of the guys focus on doing the same thing.
As a leader of this team, what needs to be said, or does something need to be said to make sure everybody's still locked in after this?
No, everybody's. I mean, over the course of this season, we've dealt with a lot of different things, and the messages remain constant of control what you can control, execute your game plan, and focus on the next pitch and find a way to win. And I feel like we've done a good job of that, and we got to continue to do that now.
Alex, what about sort of, obviously he can do a lot on the field. He's a good outfielder, good defender, good base runner, all that. But the intangibles, he seemed to bring a lot of energy when he got here. Like, where do you maybe find that with him?
For sure, I feel like I don't think anybody here needs to try and do anything more than they're capable of doing. They need to be themselves and execute their own game plan and focus on just doing what makes them successful. Obviously, he's an incredible player, and it's obviously tough to lose him. But at the same time, we don't need people trying to do more than they're capable of doing. They need to stick to what makes them good and what makes them successful and play their brand of baseball. So just, I mean, when this stuff happens, you have to just execute at a high clip, execute at a high level, and that's it.
And just for him, as a young guy, last night you could just hear in his voice, he's super disappointed even before he knew for sure. Have you spoken with him, and again, as a leader on this team, what would you say to him?
Oh yeah, I talked to him right away. I talked to him last night, this morning again, and I mean, anytime you deal with an injury, you got to tell yourself in your brain that you want to get back quicker than possible and do everything you're capable of to get back healthy and get back quickly. And his head's in the right space. He's focused on getting back as quick as he can and helping this team the remainder of the year. So just yeah.
You really stress guys not doing more than what they need to right now. Is that something that can happen sometimes with an injury? Guys trying to do a little bit more.
100%, guys. 100%. I've seen it over the course of the last 10 years, and it's just not something that really you need to try. It's the same thing as the playoffs. When you're playing in postseason baseball, you don't try and be the hero. You try and execute your game plan, and then you end up becoming the hero by coming through and doing those things. It's not. You have to focus on the task at hand, the next pitch. your game plan in an at-bat, or your game plan on the mound, or executing the fundamentals on defense and running the bases the right way. We got to play good baseball, and that's the name of the game, especially this time of the year. We're 2.5 back in a tough division, and we got good teams that we're playing. We got a good team over there across the way tonight, and I feel like one thing that this team's done really well this year is focus on the next one, the next game, the next out, the next at bat, and it helps you not go into those ruts or not get too high when it's going good. You just keep it going, keep repeating.
You know, the interesting thing I think now is I would have told you a week ago winning the division didn't really matter. In fact, you can make an argument, a young team, maybe you're better off playing and not sitting around for a week. Now that bye would be pretty good. You give Anthony more time, you give Abreu more time, all of a sudden you could use that time. It's going to be difficult. You are the third team right now trying to catch both the Yankees and the Blue Jays. But, boy, that would be a nice period of rest.
Yeah, I mean, I think that any team would always say that they would rather have the bye than not, in part because health and being able to, even if, I think that there's, it can be challenging for that first round, but man, like avoiding being on fumes for that last round is pretty significant. But in this case, it's a matter of the more games you don't have to play at the beginning of October, the healthier a roster you have a chance to get. But of course, the absences also make it that much harder to be able to be in a position to secure that bye, to win the AL East, and to finish with one of those top 2 records. So there's a lot going on, a lot of variables in play there.
And it will, as you said earlier, come back to pitching, which has been the strength of this team.
Right.
The top of that rotation, the back of the bullpen have been as good as anybody's in baseball over the last 2-3 months. And now, maybe that rotation getting a little deeper. Payton Tolle was really impressive on Friday. They'll keep him on the extra rest because he hasn't pitched on 4 days rest in the minors or at all this season. But if this guy, again, you don't need 4 pitchers very often in the playoffs. But if he can be the guy who drops in once a series to give everybody the rest they need, this could be a very good rotation.
And also, you know, in a postseason series, if he is, say, the number 4 starter, then you might also be able to do the whole rover thing where maybe there's a couple of innings piggybacking like a Giolito start or a Bayo start with a very, very, very different look coming, that you're able to complement with and bridge some bullpen gaps. So the chance for Payton Tolle to make an impact is immense, particularly given what we saw in that pretty honestly astonishing debut where it was just, stuff and energy and electricity and an ability to answer the moment in a way that was all really intriguing.
Answer the moment while continuing to ask the question of the day. That's a little foreshadowing because we get to catch up with Payton Tolle. He's our guest in this edition of 310 to Left, presented by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, the best-selling truck in America for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Payton, you've kind of had your go-round here through the rotation, right? We'll get back to Friday in a moment, but what have these last few days been like? A little less hectic, I would assume, than Friday night itself.
Yeah. We've been able to calm down a little bit. Monday night after the day game, it was like my first time to kind of really take a deep breath, calm down, kind of reflect on it, kind of do more thinking about it, but now kind of calming down, we're settling in a little bit better, but it would take a little bit to get off that high of Friday. So
I mean, I think about that a lot, right? Because there's so much the craziness, the hecticness of you're told by Chad Tracy, boom, you're going to Boston, right? So there's a lot that goes into there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of kind of frenetic packing and all that stuff in order to get up to Boston. Then and then you take the mound and you have this obvious spike in adrenaline that's pouring 99 miles an hour out of your arm. What is that like? And when does the adrenaline surge and when does it finally crash?
I mean, it didn't crash for a while, but it was I kind of the thought after getting told by Trace of hey, you're going over there, and it was first thought was call Dad, and then second thought was I just need to throw the first pitch and need to get out there, need to feel it, need to see it, and then then it will become real. And then we can start hammering away, but that first hitter, it was just whoa, a little bit. It's just like, and then like just hearing like how loud this place gets, and like just the energy, and like it just took off. Like I was telling Chappie, our mental skills guy, I was like I didn't have to create any of my own energy. Like that's kind of the, come a long ways from Bethany, Oklahoma, where there's 45 people in the stands, but now it's like I can ride the Fenway wave, so it was special, and couldn't go to sleep at all that night, so we got a little bit of recovery. So.
Okay, good.
Well, is there a moment you'll remember the most? Is it that walk around the mound after the first strikeout? Is it coming out when the day is done? Is it looking up at your dad? Like, what will sort of live in your memory most from that night?
I think the first strikeout, like I really tried to take a second, like soak it in. The strikeout to end the first, like that was like I couldn't feel anything, but I was like present still, like still remember every second of that. But I mean, like the moment of whenever AC was walking out there, and kind of like, I don't know, the relief maybe, or the big like proud of what we just did, like that. I think that moment is kind of wrapped the night in a little bow, and trying to look up, find my dad, and just be like, "Hey, we're here!" Like we did.
What did AC say to you? Do you remember what he said when he first came out?
It was really loud. It was kind of just said like, "Soak it in. This is for you," and I definitely did. I put my head down as I was walking across the line, but just kind of smiling. Like it's just like, wow, like this. A lot of hard work from a lot of different people kind of accumulated to that moment. So it was special.
Well, we also got a great kick out of the idea that, like, as you were walking off the mound, you also had the presence of mind to interact with your teammates, and not only interact with them, but to do so in a unique way. I doubt that most of them have ever been told by a pitcher leaving the mound, "You are really cool." Before, have you, you received, as you interacted with Alex Bregman when receiving the ball back from him after strikeouts, you would say?
Thank you, Alex Bregman.
Thank you, Alex Bregman. Have you gotten past the point where you are referring to teammates like Alex Bregman as Alex Bregman? Like, has he said, "Please call me Breg," or "My name is Alex, it's a pleasure to meet you"?
I've gotten... We're getting there. We're getting there slowly, but I'm like still... Thank you, Mr. Whitlock, Mr. Duran. I'm still a little, maybe starstruck might not be the right word, but still like these guys are really cool. Like a year ago this time, I'm seeing these guys on TV, and now I'm like, when do I get on a nickname basis with you guys? But it was, just I had to say something there, because I can't just sit here in silence with them. Like I gotta tell them like how I feel right now. So, but no, it's we're getting there. I'm like, I don't want to start calling somebody like, we'll call Crochet Beast, and they're like, I don't want to say something, be like, yeah, don't call me that. I'm like, okay, my bad. So yeah.
I mean, you call Crochet Beast, he's calling you Baby Beast. Yeah. How is this nickname settling in with you?
I've heard quite a few of them already. So I mean, I guess you can call me anything, but I'll refrain from that. But I'm open to anything. You can call me whatever you want, as long as you do it with a smile on your face, So, but yeah.
You got to look up and see your dad. Jemai got to interview him. He did a great job on the Anthony home run. Great play-by-play. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
During the interview, and he goes, "It's gone."
That's the only thing my dad would talk about.
Not your night. His play-by-play debut.
The next day after the game, we were hanging out, and he goes, "I was on Sports Center." Okay, yeah.
You made it then.
Yeah, good job.
And the team did such a beautiful thing, the flowers on the chair for your mom. When did you learn about that, and what was your reaction to it?
Good thing after. I said, I'm really happy that they told me after the fact. But, I mean, that was, it was an incredible gesture, and I think it goes to show, like, the amount of care that this organization has for its players, for the culture of it. But, yeah, I mean, it was really special, and a lot of, the family friends that I had up there, they were like, we were crying, and then we were crying because you were pitching, and then we were crying because we're so proud of you. And I'm like, guys, like, let's be happy a little bit. Like, it was tears of joy. I'm like, I'm sure it was, but like we can smile through that. But no, like it was an incredible gesture, and like I had a few moments during the game where, you know, I feel like I heard Mom, like she was like, "You're so pretty," like she would before every game, or like I said in the post game, like, "You're still a hack," like she's making sure that I'm still humble about it. But yeah, it was special.
Players talk about that, right? You said it a minute ago. So much hard work from so many people, right?
Yeah.
You did a lot of the work, but a team around you got you here.
Yeah.
Your mom being very present as part of that. Your father here. Just, can you share what that feels like? You know, that night, like you said, you couldn't sleep, but you know, you didn't just do it for yourself. Like all of them, including your mother, being part of this experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of the like competitiveness, a lot of the drive that me and my brother have come from Mom, and not to not talk about Dad, but that we had a mom who was very caring, very loving, like gave us perspective on everything. Like one of the things that I got to go out there and do is play with joy, and that's what she told me before every game that she could have, like, just play with joy, show them why you play, show them who you play for, and you know, to try to go out there and honor her with that was special. And then whenever I talk to Dad after the game, and it's like your arm hurts right now, but it's worth it, isn't it? Like I think he's got so many things wrong with his arm right now from playing catch with me and my brother and throwing batting practice, but it's like it's worth it now. Like we got here, and you know the fun thing is that we got here, but there's also the understanding that's like, well, you got to stay here now, and the work doesn't stop. It's just it's even more blown up. You know, it's even more what is the word? Magnified. There we go. Yeah, big word. Somebody's gonna say they're proud of me for using that word, and I'm like, hey.
Your dad used it on SportsCenter.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep trying to use big words, even though sometimes I'll say them and I'm just like, that's not the word at all there.
Me too, actually.
I've been doing this 30 years. I do it all the time. Don't worry about that.
But it is interesting to me, like, you know, so you talk about honoring your mom, honoring your family through the way that you pitch. Like, is your mom the one who kind of gave you permission to pitch with joy and to pitch with emotion? Because I think too, I had heard from a number of people who in the Red Sox scouting process with you that one of the most striking things that they experienced through the whole process was seeing you take the mound shortly after your mom passed away in your junior season, seeing you make the decision, I'm going to get back onto the mound. And I'm going to, and like you pitched with emotion. You pitched with competitiveness and aggressiveness, and pitched really, really well at a moment that like a lot of people would not have been able to kind of like manage the emotions of it. Is your mom the one who taught you to like use it behind you?
Yeah, she definitely, like, she was probably mad at me for missing the start the day after she passed. Like, that's just kind of who she was. Like, she wanted me to be there. She wanted to watch me do what I love, and because that is what brought her joy, is watching me and my brother work hard and succeed in baseball, school, whatever it is. Like, just to see like us work our tails off for, you know, whatever moment it may be. And so I was very, you know, very fortunate to have a guy like Coach Sarlos kind of be there during that time and kind of be like, hey, be at home, like, enjoy the time with family. But then, you know, shortly after her celebration of life, I was like, I'm coming back and I'm pitching Thursday. And because mom wouldn't want me to miss the start. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, I'll be ready to go and everything, but like mom would kill me if I missed another start. So that's just like, and she was definitely the one. She's like, you know, I got to show my maybe openness or like wear my heart on my sleeve whenever I pitch, and like I'm unapologetic about that. Like, I'm gonna kind of let you know how I'm feeling. I'm gonna try to not show you the negative stuff, but like things are going good. Like, I'm gonna show you, and because I care, and because that's kind of how I was raised. So You know, if people don't like that, they can come talk to me, and I'll tell them about Gina Tolle. So
amazing. This year, the rise through the system, right? 11 starts in Single A, 6 starts in Double A. When did it first sort of hit you that, you know, I might pitch at Fenway this year? Like, when did it become real for you?
I think you try to push it off, right? You try to be where your feet are. You try to like, okay, yes, it's getting close, but like, just be here. But, you know, you get to AAA and you kind of realize, like, we're really close. And that was kind of a difficult thing for me to, like, wrap my head around. Is like, yes, we're really close, but, like, that doesn't change anything. We have to stay where our feet are, like, you know, keep working, keep doing everything that we can here, and then, you know, maybe something happens and we get moved up. But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of that AAA call where somebody told me, like, you do realize, like, you're one phone call away. It's not like you're in Greenville where, you know, it's like, well, we can hang around and we're just having a good time. Like, the Greenville guys are incredible, but, like, you know, you're working on development and all this kind of stuff, and then, you know, you get to AAA and it's like, we're there, like 45 minutes away. That's what I don't know how many parks are like that where they're right there next to each other, but it's like it's not only are you close in the level sense, but like you're close proximity. So you're feeling it.
Marcelo got called up between games of a doubleheader.
Yeah, like you're right there. So.
It was really interesting for me because I saw your last AAA start, and I was blown away because you and I had talked right after you were called up to AAA. You were still learning the cutter at that point.
Yeah.
You've been throwing the cutter since August 2nd, I think, was the first time. And in that last start, that was your second most prominent pitch. You were landing it on both rails. Like, I was like, wait a second, like that. Was there a pitch? Was there one developmental thing? Obviously, throwing harder helps an awful lot too. And like getting down the mound, like, you know, with 18 feet of extension or whatever Sasquatch thing it is that you do. But like, was there one what would you say was the biggest developmental milestone that has you here right now?
I think it's very difficult to not talk about the velo. I think that's kind of especially the jump that we had from college to now. But then kind of just, I feel like I have a better understanding of the game. I can feel my body more, like, in space. I kind of have done more individualized things to load better or unweight myself better, like all these different things that we kind of talked about in the weight room. But, like, I think all the things together kind of help to gain that velo, and then just keep pounding strike zone with it. Like, I think those are the two things that are kind of the biggest things that are, like, bolstered, another big word.
Bolstered.
Yeah. Bolstered it.
So, you know, how far can you push this, right? Like, in your first big league outing, they're asking you to do things that you weren't doing in the minor leagues. You hadn't thrown more than 5 innings since June.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, back out for the 6. Let's see where this can happen. Like, how do you identify, do you ask yourself, what limits do I have? Or are you like, no, man, I'm surfing?
I mean, I'm kind of an old school guy, I guess, in that aspect. Like, for me personally, like, I'm kind of like, just, hey, run me out there until I can't anymore. But, like, I know with, like, workload and, like, just trying to stay healthy in general, like, that's probably not the best mindset. But I mean, like I said, like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna compete no matter what's happening. If I'm at 67 pitches or I'm at 130, like, it's going to be the same level of intensity here, you know, and just going to continue to do that.
You passed the test on the mound Friday. We come in Saturday, I think you were talking to Crochet and Giolito.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah,
like, you're talking to two guys who have been there and done that.
Yes.
What's that been like? And, you know, we talk about all the development physically, but what about that mental part of it? Like, even this past week, being in the clubhouse with these guys, what has that done for you?
It's been great. Like, I'm trying my best to ask questions and, like, but also not, like, have bad feel. And then while they're in the middle of something, like, hey, what do you got on this? And, like, trying to have good feel about it, trying to ask the right questions. And pretty much everybody's been a part of that. Crochet and Giolito, they've been great. Like, very open. Gio, yesterday, I asked him about scouting, and like we sat down for 30, 45 minutes talking about it. It's like that's awesome. Like that, and he's like went through his whole career of how he's done it, how he's changed it, and it's just something that like I feel like is special. Like having guys like that that are very open, that want to answer questions, and but yeah, I'm like I've gotten to this thing through this whole year where I've gotten to the question of the day, and like it could be to weights, ATs, like anybody, like where I got to get a question a day in, and I'm trying to get better, but like sometimes I'm like I got to have a question a day. I don't know what to ask. What do I ask? So I'll like then it's something way not even close to baseball related, and it's like, well, you got to have fun with it. So
What was yesterday's question of the day?
I think I asked Matt, the strength and conditioning guy. I think I asked him like, what are like what if you had to take like a freshman in high school, like what lifts would you make him do to make him throw hard? So like that's been a pretty common one throughout the levels, but like he came from the same kind of tree of Coach Dakin at TCU. So his answer, I was like, I've heard that before. But
all right, so kind of the next step in your major league career, you're going to get a really nice flight out to Arizona. Like, this ain't the bus.
Yeah.
This is going to be a different experience for you.
Yeah. I'm asking probably a lot of questions about that too. Where I'm like, so what do I wear? And then the next day, what do I wear? Like, are you sure I can wear the sweatsuit? Like, that's cool? Like, where do I sit? Like, what do I need to bring? Like, so I think I'll just go way to the back, way to the window, and kind of just mind my own business.
The broadcasters are way in the back, so if you get into a bunch of broadcasters, go back to 3 rows earlier. Okay, that's as far back as you want to be.
I'll get on there and kind of like, is this seat open? But
we can order anything on this menu?
That's what I asked Fitz the other day. I'm like, we eat on the planes. It's not the what is it, the biscuit?
Oh
yeah.
So
I'm like,
you will eat well on the plane. Good luck on the road trip.
Thank you.
Great to spend some time with you. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
it's been a lot of fun watching it get started. So.
Thank you very much.
Payton Tolle with us here on 310 to Left. 310 to Left is presented by your New England Ford dealers who've been taking everyone out to the ball game at Fenway Park for decades. Catch Ford next time you're at Fenway, including in the Ford Clubhouse, a full-service bar perfect for bringing your lineup together and for recording our live edition of 310 to Left. It's all brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Just a great conversation and just a great young man. I mean, authentic is the word that I keep using over and over. Comfortable in his own skin, whatever it is. He his mother's spirit still with him. His father's support still very much there. He's just fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to be around. I think that there's a reason why. Like he's gone from level to level to level to level, which is a strange thing to do, right? Like you're never unpacking, and you barely have time to introduce yourself to your teammates, such as Alex Bregman, and nonetheless, like he almost instantly is endearing himself to everyone. I got to talk to Chad Tracy about him a couple of times in AAA, and like Chad Tracy was jovially making fun of him and like delighting in him in a way that it was like a relative who had known him for his whole life. There's obviously something very special about the way that he interacts with other people, and of course that is a tribute to his mom's spirit, and like it's really cool that he, in his own words, unapologetically and unabashedly celebrates that spirit and just wants to be his joyful self, like in the things that he's doing around a baseball.
Unabashedly, a bigger word, I think, than he would have used by his own admission.
I apologize for my sesquipedalian undertakings, but there we go. That'll be another lesson for him.
What's fascinating is just listening to how he's been listening to people around him, right? Very much a guy who wants to learn, who wants to be better, who's trying to soak it all up, not just on the pitching side, but in the room, asking questions about where to sit on the airplane, like all of that. I just think, in this day and age, you either get, and Lucas Giolito was saying this with us on the show the other day, like you get guys who try to come up and just fit in.
Yeah.
And they're not themselves. Jaron Duran has talked about that, right?
Yeah.
In his first year, he didn't play with the joy that
Well,
he
not
always
even fit
played
in,
with.
but like do the right thing.
What was
Mindful of like,
expected?
yeah.
What is expected of me? Right? And then you also have guys now and who come up very much flamboyant, and I'm going to be me no matter what it does anybody else. He kind of threads the needle pretty well. A guy who respectfully listens and learns while still showing you his true self.
Right. Well, I think his true self is very appreciative for the perspective of those who have been doing this for a longer time than him. And that's part of the reason why he's so endearing. But this is someone who I think has forged very quickly in the Red Sox organization a reputation as a remarkable sponge. That's part of the reason why he's been able to travel this very atypical fast track to the big leagues, because he's been learning at such a rapid clip. Justin Willard, the Red Sox director of pitching, who was on the previous show, talked about how he's never seen someone who is a faster learner in the minor leagues than Payton Tolle. And like part of the conversation is the idea of like they talked to him about, let's pick up a cutter at the end of August in a bullpen session. He's using it in the next start, and in the big leagues 3 weeks later, that's his second most prominent pitch that he's using. He changed at the very end of his time in Portland, he started using a kick change grip instead of the changeup grip that he had been using, because they had been spending the entire year looking for the right changeup grip, and all of a sudden, bang, it hits, he's applying it, he's able to use it, and he's able to take it into games. So this is someone whose ears are very much open. Mind is open, ears are open, and interacts with people in a way that they really like. The Giolito stuff he was talking about with the conversation about scouting, like being very transparent about, like, I don't really know about scouting, like, we did some stuff in AAA, like, tell me about what your scouting process is. A veteran is going to love hearing that from a young pitcher who's trying to find his way.
What is your thank you, Alex Bregman moment? When you started at the Globe, you started at the Globe, right? And there are legends at the Globe.
Yeah.
Do you remember those early days and what was it like to be around?
I mean, the idea of being on the same staff with other columnists like the great Dan Shaughnessy and Bob Ryan was startling. I think that was more at the very beginning of covering the team, though, like because I had been around them for years and years. So it was when I started covering, like the first time that I was getting credentialed, and you're
sitting with them in the press box.
You're sitting with them in the press box, and there are literally moments where the first time that you step up, that you're credentialed to cover a game at Fenway, like there's a moment where just you burst into sweat because you're like, wait a second, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing here, and I have no idea, but I have to kind of fake it. The introductions to Peter Gammons, I think, would qualify pretty prominently on the list of you see him talking to someone and you're like, I hope that conversation ends so I can say hello and thank you. And I still feel that way about Peter.
I was covering a charity golf tournament once down in New Seabury on the Cape at Furness in my early days, and I hear, Tom, and I turn around and it's Bobby Orr. Calling my name. And it was one of those, you talk about not feeling your feet. I'm walking across this practice green to go see Bobby Orr, who just called out to me. And that was I still remember that moment.
That's a good one to remember.
Imposter syndrome. I'm like, I don't belong. What am I doing here? That's Bobby Orr. Thank you, Bobby Orr.
Yeah. Sitting here next to TC30, I still have imposter syndrome.
I do like to point out, I threw the first strike of the night on Friday. I set the tone before Payton Tolle threw anything.
Yeah, they used it to calibrate the radar system that night, I think. StatCast was, they were able to get the precise 99 on Tolle.
It wouldn't go that low. They had to recalibrate it. All right, great episode. That was a lot going on.
Covered a lot.
We'll see what happens with the Roman Anthony news and how this team, we're going to learn a lot about this team now.
Yeah. They've had so much change especially in terms of lineup identity throughout the course of the season. They have shown an ability to adapt. You do wonder whether or not there comes a point, is there a proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back?
Right.
Are they a camel? That's a weird question. There's
question of the day. Are you a camel? I don't even know where to go with that. Are you a camel?
Dromedary or Bactrian?
Again, you got to take it to science every time. I got nothing. I know I can go a long time without drinking water. Is that a camel?
Camels carry their own water. They can drink their water.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, it's fat.
We digress. Really?
Yeah.
It's fat?
Yeah.
How do they drink that?
They're able to, their muscle. I believe that their muscles are able to just. It's not a matter of drinking it. It's a matter of
absorbing,
of using that for energy.
Carrying the water. in the fat?
Yeah,
I've lost you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling you what I know, Tom.
All right, well, it's
a
more
lot
than
of
I
visits
know.
to the Franklin Park
I
Zoo.
know nothing about camels. I will admit that very openly.
I rode a camel in South Africa once.
I rode a camel in Egypt once. So there you go.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to one-up me with the camel stuff. Anyway, we'll leave it there.
Great episode.
There's a hump joke. I didn't make it. We'll just move on. I won't be here next week. You will? Are you doing the show next week?
Evidently.
All right, I'm off. I'm after 30 years, you don't have to do West Coast games.
You get a vacation.
That is one thing I have earned over the time. I don't have to do 2 a.m. post-game shows. Jim Rice and Adam Pellerin will be there for you. And he will be here for you as well on 310 to Left, presented by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 48 years, and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. For Alex Speier, I'm Tom Caron. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you again next time.